Yo, what's good? It's your man 100 Grand Ross of The Rock Never Stops. Today I want to do a video about what truly I believe sets the Toronto Raptors apart from almost any other organization in the NBA. Their player development. If you like this video, I want you to smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. Yo, I really appreciate all the love and support that I've been getting, all the comments in the comment section. I love going back and forth and talking about these topics with y'all. The reason why I wanted to do this is because I was watching one of the recent videos from Rico Hines' Summer League run, and something that occurred to me is that Masai Ujiri, in his visionary self, his selection of Pascal Siakam was the beginning of a manifestation of a vision for what it looks like to develop a winning organization over the long term. It wasn't just that he enjoys investing in foreign players, right? Like he understands this aspect of small market teams going after foreign players who don't mind being in smaller markets, because in the EuroLeague, playing internationally, it's not necessarily about having a location that fits your cultural needs as much as it is making the most of the business opportunity in that space, right? Winning, enjoying playing the game, being a part of that team, and maximizing your opportunity there, right? So he already has the vision to understand that, look, I need to not position myself like maybe the Lakers or the Knicks, who are trying to go after these big time free agents, these superstars who want a space that reflects their cultural dynamic and allows them to really enjoy being a superstar, right? Like the Donovan Mitchells, right? I don't want to be in Utah. I want to be in New York. I get it. I get it. And so does Masai. And so Masai goes, you know what? Let me go ahead and let me reach for players who will actually enjoy being in this space. And so he goes after the international guys. He goes after the Pascal Siakams, even the Precious Achuas, Delano Banton, right? Chris Boucher, who have these Canadian ties, right? He's going after guys who can be cornerstones of his team for the long term. Guys who are not going to be malcontents or looking forward to the opportunity of getting out of there, right? And so he's bringing in the right type of guy. But the second thing that he does is he also brings in guys who have a high motor. And when I say a high motor, I mean somebody who plays with a level of energy on a consistent basis that you don't have to motivate for them, right? You don't have to threaten them with minutes. You don't have to, rah-rah from the sidelines and yell at them. They naturally move at this high intensity. They're running up and down the court, filling the lanes on the offensive break, crashing the offensive and defensive rebounds, sprinting across the court to close out on a three-point shooter, sliding their feet to cut off the drive to the lane, helping out. Like, these guys do this naturally within themselves. You don't have to motivate them to play basketball at a high level. Similar, like when you see a Tom Thibodeau, right? Like he really impresses upon his team. We have to go hard 100% of the time. Well, Masai Ujiri just drafts and brings in guys who naturally do that. He's like, I don't want to have to worry about that. I want to be focused on strategies and X's and O's. But one of the last parts that I want to focus on, and this is probably the asterisk, this is what truly I believe sets his program and organization apart, is that they develop guys to be the fullest of their potential on both ends of the court. They don't bring you in to play just a niche, right? They don't take a big man and say, you're big, so play under the basket. We just want you to, block shots, rebound, finish inside, right? They don't get a point guard and say, hey, we just want you to shoot, facilitate the ball, right? They actually expect all of their players to be a multifaceted, three-layer scoring, switchable, two-way player from every position. Every position. When you watch the development of Pascal Siakam, he was an energy guy. Then he was an energy guy who could hit open shots. Then he was an energy guy who could fill the lanes and finish inside. Then he was an energy guy who can hit open shots, fill the lanes, finish inside, and then maybe take you off the dribble on a straight line drive. And then he keeps progressing and keeps progressing until now he's a multiple-time All-NBA player. Nobody saw this from him when he first came into the NBA out of New Mexico State. Precious Achiuwa, when he was in Miami, they wanted him to be like Bam Adebayo. Rebound, defend, hit the glass, run the court. Precious Achua, if you actually followed him, and even the sad part is Bam Adebayo said the same thing when it came to the NBA. He said, look, I'm not a Dwight Howard, stick me under the rim. I have a versatile game. I want to be able to play my full game. Miami was like, bump that, play this role. And that's how he got his money. I'm not mad at it. But they tried to do the same thing with Precious Achua, who's like, yo, I'm not even a center. I'm not even a big man. I'm a forward. I'm a wing. I'm like a small forward. That's how I foresee myself. And when he was in Miami, they was like, yeah, that sounds good. You're going to be Bam Adebayo's backup. We want you to do what he's doing. Right? And it wasn't working out. Right? He gets to Toronto, and the first thing they do is like, look, we expect you to play to the fullest of your abilities. And as a matter of fact, not only are you going to train to be able to do so, but we're going to put you in a position within our system to do so. And if you mess up, it's going to be less about if you messed up and more about if you're doing it in the right way. And let me explain that to you. When you tell a player that we want you to play at your best, but the right way, not we're going to get mad at you if you mess up in the process of trying to do so. What you do is you, one, instill a sense of confidence in their game. Right? You're basically communicating to them like, look, I have confidence in your skill level, in your work ethic, in your ability to play this style in this way. But what we want to do is make sure that you're doing it in a way that's maximally effective. And so we're going to hold you to your effectiveness, not necessarily the bumps along the way, to allowing you to iron out these skills in real game time so that you can maximize your potential and continue to improve. Right? This is like the big difference between when you look at a team like the Utah Jazz. Right? They get 7'1" Rudy Gobert. And they're like, you're amazing on defense. And what do they kind of do? Stay there. They don't develop the rest of his game. Right? Mitchell Robinson in the New York Knicks. Right? He was hitting threes as a high school senior. Right? Showing off his range, the ability to shoot the ball. Comes under Tom Thibodeau. No, we just want you under the basket. Wendell Carter Jr. when he was in Chicago. Right? Under, what was it, Hoiberg, something like that, who was the terrible coach for like 4 or 5 years. Right? Wendell Carter was shooting threes in college at Duke. He was able to shoot it in high school. He came in as a rookie like, yo, I can shoot this. And the coach was like, nah, we want to stick you under the rim. Right? This type of thinking is what actually limits your team's potential. When you are actually asking guys to limit themselves, to maximize what they do well, you're still limiting them. And in the NBA, especially when you get to the playoffs, when you have limited players, it makes you easy to game plan for. It makes you easy to scheme for. But what it also does is it removes the players' confidence in themselves. It removes the players' confidence in their game and their ability to apply their game to be able to win. And sometimes what teams fail to recognize is that the short-term losses of them making mistakes in order to work out the kinks to build their confidence in the short term actually pay you the longest dividends in the long term in terms of their ability to maximize their potential. Now, if they can't reach it, if they're not reaching that potential and they're just not putting in the work and they're not improving, all right, cool. Like we all saw what happened to Caboclo, the Brazilian cat, right? He was 6'11", 7'7" wingspan, extremely fluid athlete, had all the physical gifts you would want to see at a young age. They thought he was going to be the next Giannis, right? Had a nice jump shot too. Was doing his thing in the G League. When he first got drafted, they were like, he's 2 years away from being 2 years away, right? That was that whole joke. But he developed. But when he got to the NBA level, when he got on that stage, he just couldn't put it together. His confidence wasn't there. And they were like, look, we don't have time to wait for you. We gave you the time. We let you play in the G League. We developed you. You just ain't got it. And they moved on. And that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to give them an opportunity to succeed and allow them to sink or swim themselves. And that's how you evaluate them. You don't impose upon them what you think that they can be, right? And at the same time, they have a high level of accountability. Remember, like I said about Pascal Siakam, the first thing that he had to do is be a high energy player, play defense, fly around on the court, right? The intensity, that's what they want off top. They're not going to compromise that. And so when you have this type of developmental system, you create an environment where guys come in looking forward to an opportunity to maximize who they could be at this level. You look at guys like Delano Banton at 6'10" playing point guard. You look at 6'9" Scotty Barnes. You look at 6'11" Chris Boucher, right? You even saw Kim Birch after he came to Toronto. He was taking corner threes. He was taking guys off the dribble. He was looking to actually score and not just, catch the ball and pass off and do a handoff. Right? Even though he played a role, he still maximizes his role. And then I think this is the major difference. Pascal Siakam is the mold for the Toronto Raptors. Versatile, athletic, hardworking, high energy forwards who have this versatile game that really doesn't allow you to game plan for them because they can take advantage of you in so many ways because of the skill set that they've developed. And that's what they're doing in Toronto. Across the board, down the line, everyone is expected to develop. Everyone is expected to be better and better every single season. And that's how they evaluate. And that is actually how they're able to make sure that they can retain control around the players, to be able to re-sign them because they have bird rights to all these guys. And the better and better that they get, the more value they have. And a lot of times, they're like, yeah, I know we can get a Kevin Durant, but do you see what Scotty's going to be in 2 years? Yeah, we can go out and get this guy, but do you see what OG is going to be next year? Do you see what Pascal is going to be next year? The way that they're developing. Man, if they add this, can you imagine what they're going to look like? And that's the advantage that they have within their system, within their organization, to be able to develop talent and maximize their potential at every single position. This is why the Raptors continue to creep up on everybody. This is why they continue to continuously show out and overperform people's expectations, because they're evaluating them based upon who they were last year. Most teams don't get better. What they do is they just go out and try to trade for better players, right? They don't necessarily get better individually. But in Toronto, they get better. In this coming season, expect them to be a whole lot better. Top down, across the board, down the line, from 1 to 15. Expect everybody to be better. Expect their jump shot to be smoother. Expect the handle to be improved. Expect their finishing ability to be much better than it was last year. And expect their win-loss record to look better too. If you like this video, smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notification. I love all the support, truly. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.